Good morning, students. So we had seen principles of management. Four principles of management we are seen by us in our previous lecture, and that four principles of management were principle of division of work, principle of authority and responsibility, principle of discipline, and the fourth principle we had seen is principle of unity of command. Only one superior is there to whom the employee is answerable. That is principle of unity of command. Now coming to the principle of unity of direction. Planning is an outline for future. Underline that line. Planning is an outline for future. Planning is outline for future. Underline that. This can be done through job division and specialization. So planning can be done through, as I said earlier, we had planned for farewell last year and it was done very well through job division, right? And specialization. Now we will say, teacher, how specialization will be there? Was it possible for everyone to do anchoring of the particular work? No, it was not. Special particular students, those who are having confidence, those who have a good speech, those who have good English, those who are having good vocabulary, all that had been seen, right? So that is division of work, job division, that is division of work and specialization. If deviations are found during planning, means if something is found, if we do this, so it would be hindrance to our accomplishment of objective. That is deviation. Whatever the reason is, because of what your work is not going to be completed on time, so that is to be found at the if it is found at the time of planning, then direction guidance is provided. So what we have to do if this thing happens, this direction should be given by superior authorities. So who's going to give this direction? Obviously a superior authority. By doing this, coordination of all tasks and efforts can be done easily. Because of that, what happens? Coordination of all the tasks can be done easily. According to this principle, there should be only one superior. Underline and highlight that point with the highlighter. According to the principle of unity of direction, there should be only one superior employees group. It's a employees group, and this group should be doing job for only one purpose. That particular work would be done for one purpose only. They will not go for a different kind of different task. Employees group, one superior employees group, and this group should be doing job for only one purpose. Is it clear? According to this principle, what does the principle of unity of direction says? The principle of unity of direction says that there should be only one superior employees group, and this group should be doing job for only one purpose. Principle of unity of command is different. It's for one employee superior. He is answerable to one superior employee only, and here employees group, and they are doing work for one purpose only. Make it different. Is it clear? So we had seen fifth principle, principle of direction. Subordination of individual interest to general interest. Subordination means individual's interest is to be diverted to the general interest of the company. That is subordination of individual's interest to general interest. Now what is that? Management is a collective activity. Hence there should be coordination between persons and departments. Right, it's a collective activity. So the person that are working in that department, they should have coordination with that department in that they are functioning. Suppose an computer field person is there and he is sent to the production department, he is operating machine and all that. So he will not take part in the particular work as enthusiastically as is going to do work on computer for the computer related work. That's why there should be coordination between person and department. This results in an easy achievement of goal of business unit. So this results in an easy achievement of goal. Because of this, what happens? Business units can easily achieve the success if the person is given the work whatever he likes. That this principle shows that the interest of individual or employees group should be considered as subsidiary against the interest of whole unit. Right? Interest of individual is also to be taken care. Otherwise, you will not be able to convert your decided objective into completed work. Right? This means that common interest should be prominent instead of individual's interest. Right? Common interest should be prominent. First, primary is common interest. Secondary is interest of individual. But as I said earlier, individual's interest is not doing in that work. Right? Take example, if you had seen what was the if you had seen movie or MS Dhoni. It was a movie in that he was given a task of a ticket collector or whatever the task was, that he was not having his individual interest. Right. So what was done? Yes, this is not a industrial unit, but I'm just giving you example. So what happened when he was given his task, that was he was loving it. That particular task of playing cricket for common objective, that is India, was given to him, and he has done work very well. Right. This is the same with companies also. They have to take into consideration. So the common objective cannot be neglected. That is prominent. If the manager thinks that person can do better work for the achievement of the considered objective instead of this department in that department, they can shift it to it. But it is necessary to see that also subordination of common general subordination of individual interest to general interest is necessary. If you want your work to be completed, their individual interests are converted to general interest, then only the work can be done. Remuneration of personnel, seventh one. Remuneration means the amount of wages or salary that we are paying to the workers and employees. Remuneration, one more question. What is remuneration? Remuneration means return against the services provided by employees. Return against the services provided by employees. Underline that line. According to this principle, remuneration of employee of a company should be suitable. Means the work he is doing, it should be the salary should be suitable according to the work of that particular employee. Ideal payment of wages makes stronger relationship between owners and employees. Ideal payment. Now take example, previously workers at government level were not interested to work in government projects willingly. Now they are willingly doing it. Why they are doing it willingly? Because government is paying them 600 per day. It is a good amount as a worker. So at the end of the month, they are getting 18,000, right? So ideal payment of wages makes the relationship between owners and employees, right? That's why employees should be given ideal wages and salary so that they can sustain in your organization. All employees do not work with the same efficiency in a unit. Now there is also a thing that all employees are not working in this with the same efficiency. Remember, I had given you example. Normally, a person is producing 8 units in a day, but there are 2 or 3 employees that are able to produce 9 or 10 units in an employee, and there are few employees they will produce 7 or 6 units in a day. So some of the efficiencies, what we say consistent, they are doing a particular 8 units in a day. Some are doing producing less, some are producing more. So at that time, their payment should be done as per the efficiency. All employees do not work with the same efficiency in a unit. There are some employees who are giving more production and doing more work. That only 8 instead of 8, they are producing 9 or 10. They should be compensated against their higher efficiency. If an employee is working more efficiently, so they should be compensated higher with the for higher efficiency. By doing this work, turnover rate decreases. Right, worker turnover rate decreases because if an employee or worker's work is recognized by the employee, so he or she will work more efficiently and he or she will not leave that organization easily. And because of that, what happens? Workers' turnover rate reduces and decreases. Promotional schemes, like now, what are the schemes that remuneration principle of remuneration of personnel should be adopted? Bonus, that normally on Diwali in India, bonus is given to the employees. Profit sharing. If a worker is working efficiently, so to give him recognition, whatever the company is earning profit, at that time, the certain part of profit is shared with the workers. That is profit sharing. Representation in managerial committee. Representation in managerial committee. Why? This is also kind of remuneration or incentive that is not paid, but it gives enthusiasm to the employee. Suppose a mechanical worker is there and he is asked to sit in the management meeting for a particular product of two-wheeler, what should be done? what the changes should be done, or this is the design that we are going to launch, and this is these things are in this product, and he is asked to give certain advice, or he is asked to say whether there needs to be changes or anything. So what would be the morale of that employee? The morale of that employee will increase. Yes, I have certain identity, or my work is recognized by my employer, so he or she will feel proud, and that is only that kind of, what we say, a kind of incentive should be implemented for skilled workers. So bonus, giving extra money, profit sharing, sharing the profit of the company, representation in manager committee should be implemented for skilled workers. For skilled workers. Is it clear? I said mechanical worker. So he is skilled in mechanic of the two-wheeler. So first principle of management was, let us see, division of work. Second is your principle of authority and responsibility. Third was principle of discipline. Fourth was principle of unity of command. Fifth was the principle of unity of direction. Sixth one was subordination of interest, individual interest to general interest. And seventh is remuneration of personnel. Now, second is principle of centralization. There must be clarity that to which extent centralization or decentralization should be done to make successful management infrastructure. Now, what is centralization and what is decentralization, students? Right? There must be clarity to that which extent centralization or decentralization should be done to make successful management infrastructure. Centralization means the power is with the top level management or the higher authorities. And in decentralization, the power is delegated step by step. Right? That is decentralization. Decentralization means you can see private companies in that power is not only with the bosses. They are distributed to the assistant managers to the team leaders are managing their team, and they are having certain power related to that team. That is decentralization. Right? That is division of power and authority and responsibility. If powers are not delegated, it is centralization. Power is with only the boss, so it is centralization. Government is the best example. In government, there is no power to the employees to take decision or to give orders to other employees. They have to follow the head of the particular department only. They don't have any kind of distribution of power. That is when the powers are not delegated, highlight that word, it is centralization. Government is the centralized authority. To make the best use of employee strength, principle of centralization should be adopted. Centralization has low success ratio in giant units. When the units are big, I said MNCs, in that centralization cannot be helpful. In that only decentralization is helpful. Because every time the particular head cannot come and see the work accomplished, he cannot give the guidance and all that. So if he has distributed the power, he is getting report of the work done by easily, and he can give instruction and pass it on easily, right? So giant units centralization is not possible, hence centralization and decentralization is done as per the size of unit. What are the criteria of centralization and decentralization? Size of unit. Army, government departments, or the places where the report where the work is to be done confidentially. At that place, the work is assigned as centralized, means the organization is working as centralized, and when the unit is small. But where the unit is big, when the work is not to be kept as secrecy, at that place, the decentralization can be adopted. Again, I am clarifying, centralization means holding power with the top of the department or top of the organization. Decentralization means you are distributing the powers. Take example, board of directors or general managers, then he is distributing powers to his departmental heads. His departmental heads is distributing powers to his particular assistant managers. Then these assistant managers are distributing the powers related to the levels of their particular team leaders, and these team leaders are holding their team's activities and are responsible for the activities done by the team and answerable to the team. In centralization, all there is nothing, all this kind of activity, whatever the orders are given that are passed on, and the topmost authority is responsible and is having the power in hand. They just have to blindly follow the instructions given by the team. That is only centralization. Is it clear? So we had seen, repeat with me, it is necessary to review, it is necessary by you to remember the principles of management. So first principle is principle of division of work. Second is principle of authority and responsibility. Third is principle of discipline. Fourth is principle of unity command. Unity of command says one superior, one order. Principle of unity of direction. Only in this one superior employees group for one particular task. Remember, with this point you can do remember easily, right? Then you had seen principle of the subordination of the individual interest to uh, general interest. Then we had seen principle of remuneration of personnel. Personnel is your employee. And now we had seen principle of centralization, in that is decentralization is also there. Principle of scalar chain, IMP. Scalar chain. This principle emphasizes on creating chain from top level management to bottom level management. To underline the word, your answer should start with that only. This principle emphasizes on creating a chain. Chain is like this. You can see easily. Interlocked, right? Chain and creating chain from top level management to bottom level employees. Chain of power from higher administrative officers to bottom level employees should not be broken. Powers and responsibilities should be wasted as per their respective level. As per their respective level. Suddenly you give team leader is being given a power to control what we say a manager. No, that is not the thing. You have to maintain. Wasted means delegating, right? Employees working in a unit should be aware of who is responsible to whom. What does the principle of scalar chain emphasize on? It emphasizes on employees should be aware of who is responsible to whom. I am responsible to Mr. Rishikesh sir. Is it clear? Primary teachers are responsible to Mrs. Rupali Yadav. Is it clear? So who is responsible to whom? As a result, scalar chain occurs which moves from top to bottom and from bottom to top. Like my topmost authority should also know to whom I am responsible. That's why it's from top to bottom and bottom to top. Is it clear? Right? So principle of scalar chain emphasize on that employees working in a unit should be aware of who is responsible to whom. I am not only the person that should know, okay, I am responsible to Mr. Rishikesh sir. He should also be knowing that okay, I am responsible for the work assigned and to give answers to him. That's why top to bottom and bottom to top. As a result, scalar chain occurs which moves from top to bottom and from bottom to top. So principle of scalar chain is clear to you. It emphasizes on employees knowing that who is responsible to whom. Both should be knowing. Okay, she or he is responsible for giving answer to me. Is it clear? Order. Principle of order. IMP. This principle emphasizes not giving order, huh? It's a different thing. This principle emphasizes on two parameters. Mark the parameters. Last year it was asked in exam. What are the parameters of order in 2 mark question? This principle emphasizes on two parameters. Raw material arrangement and social arrangement. Two parameters are raw material arrangement and social arrangement. Is it clear? Principle of order emphasizes on two parameters. Parameters means okay, this is to be taken care. These are the parameters. Principle of raw material arrangement and social arrangement. Now what is it? Each part of raw material should be at its appropriate place. Likewise, skilled employees should also be placed at right place. Right? Let us see first part. Each part of raw material should be placed at its appropriate place. Now when you go to working units, take example, a small example. When you go to a general store and if you ask, suppose 2 3 things you are asking him, give me red label tea, give me what we say Dove shampoo, give me what we say broken wheats, that is dalia that you say. Then I want to take example soap. So he is not searching here and there. He will particularly go to the section of shampoo, pick it up. He will go to the particular section of what we say uh, tea, Red label tea he knows very well. Here it is arranged, he will pick it up. He is not getting confused कि कहाँ है, where it is. No, that is not. So raw material arrangement. Now coming to the raw material arrangement. Take example, we are going to a textile unit. Now what happens in textile unit? Dyeing is done, printing is done. All this is a part of raw production only. Then raw material is stored, right? Then there are many units where embroidery is also done on the raw material. Now suppose the threads, we are taking example of raw material of threads. Embroidery unit is there, and threads is the most important raw material for any of the unit. And threads are of many colors. Suppose you are asking for green color. Green color would be having a variation of 10 to 12 colors, like green, olive green, then mehndi green, then other yellowish green. And you are seeing your arrangement of that raw material is in a, it is kept in a box and it is mixed. So what will be that? It is time consuming. But if sections are made and the reels of the color threads that are reels, you know that they are tied in that, it is termed as reels. They are put properly. Green color is at topmost. This is yellow color. This is red color. This is this color. Everything is arranged so wise. When a worker is being asked to bring the particular color, he or she can easily go and collect that color. Is it clear? This is the order, principle of order, arrangement of raw material. Is it clear? Each part of raw material should be at its appropriate place, right? Likewise, skilled employees should also be placed at right place, right? Now, what is skilled employees? Take example, recently, if you had seen, because of this pandemic, what happened? Many of the workers and employees had returned to their places. Now, you would be knowing that UP, that is Uttar Pradesh, is the largest state of India, right? In terms of area, and the largest population was outside UP doing job for Gujarat, for Rajasthan. They were doing Maharashtra. They were doing jobs over here. But as soon as the lockdown was opened, unlockdown was done, and within the lockdown only, arrangements were done by the government to shift them to their particular hometown. Now, this was done by the central government, right? And the state government was also involved in this. Good arrangement was done, right? But now, have you imagined what would be done by that employees that had returned to their state? I don't know about other state, but I had gone through the study, and we had got certain information from the workers only itself. We have personal contact. They are saying a very good arrangement by UP government has done when were they reached at their place in UP. Everything was given, food packets, water, everything was given. That is a part of government work. But the most important thing what they had done, they had prepared a list of the workers. They had asked the worker or the employees, what were your previous job? What were you doing? Suppose he says, I was in textile and I was doing the work in dyeing and printing. His skill was returned as worker of dyeing and printing, having the skill of dyeing and printing. Suppose a worker was a carpenter, so his skill of carpentry was recorded. So records are maintained by the government. So when they will start with a job or when they are placing the job, there is a not no hosh pause or the workers are not worried what I am going to do after the particular job, right? What I am going to do after what work I am going to get the work or not. No, there is no issue. They will easily get the job because their listing as per the skill is done, and when the jobs are created for that, like these are the words of what we say, Mr. Yogi Adityanath ji. When in America, China, other companies can set their companies in other what we say company easily. So why can't we set up our own country's work in other states, right? Suppose they set the textile industry over in UPC. I don't know they had started or they are going to start, but I'm giving example. Suppose we start. So the skilled employees of particular areas of Gujarat that are from Ahmedabad, Surat, Maharashtra related to textile are getting job over there easily. Are you getting me? So that is social arrangement of workers. So workers or employees should be placed as per their skill. A computer operator is there and you are appointing him as a play peon. That is not a social arrangement. That is getting biased towards this qualification. So that is to be seen. Whatever the qualification is, as per that, their work should be assigned to the particular employees, right? At right place. Arrangement should be done for recruitment of suitable employees in suitable place. If you want a mechanical engineer and you are searching a computer, you are placing a computer engineer for mechanical work, is it possible to get a right person at right place? No, it is not. So you have to be careful by selecting suitable employee for your company, right? So that's why arrangements should be made for recruitment of suitable employee in suitable place. So this is the principle of order. Order nahi. It's principle of order for two parameters. For one is for raw material placement and other is for placement of employee socially arrangement. Is it clear? So these are the works I want it to be written in point wise, and please get it to be submitted by you for especially this work. Okay, this work is to be submitted by, principles are to be submitted by Saturday in written in point wise. I want all the principles to be written point wise, and I'm giving you a lot of time till Saturday. And your submission of lesson number 1, personal, on my WhatsApp. Those and you have to mention your name and roll number. This is my name and roll number. I will make it take, right? Is it clear? So I want it to be done, and you will message me at on my WhatsApp number by tomorrow. So that is on Wednesday. By Wednesday, I want submission. Is it clear? Okay, I'm giving one more day because there are many geniuses that would have not completed lesson number 1. So on Thursday, till Thursday, those who will submit me their answer, I'll take it on it. Otherwise, the assignment submission will not be accepted. Is it clear to everyone? Right? So complete all this and learning of these principles of management. Any doubt is there, consult me on my WhatsApp, and if anyone wants to come online, they can request me and I'll join you, right? So I'm stopping over here, and we'll see next 4 principles in next lecture.